My mom is a filmmaker, not very mom-like in many ways. It's a compliment.
My relationship with my mom is, it's pretty open. Like, she's gone through a lot of the same stuff I have, so like, why ask my friends and get skewed opinions when I can just ask my mom, who's been through stuff and made mistakes, so I don't have to make the same mistakes.
This is my dad. My dad and I have the awesome privilege of getting to live in the same city as adults, and embarking on an adult relationship with my parents is a really neat thing, and also in a city that's home to a lot of my queer and activist and art community.
She sounds exactly like me, and she looks like me, or maybe I look like her.
She's a really cool person. She used to be a punk, and it's just so great. Her music taste is amazing.
And my dad, I'm excited to say, has been parts of that, both through supporting my work as an artist, but also just my growth as a human. He has a terrible sense of humor.
I get it from her.
I know that I'm very lucky to just be able to share absolutely everything with both of my parents, sometimes too much. I know it's a relatively unique model to have.
And I came because I'll do anything Zoe asks.
I have the privilege of having an ally in my family, so I should show people that there are allies out there. There are people who will support you in your life, and it's something that everyone should have.
I saw the call out on Facebook, and I thought it was really neat because there's been a lot of, I've just been around a lot of dialogue lately about the kind of invisibility of bisexuality, even within queer spaces, and the idea that having an identity where you're attracted to lots of genders.
I think that this project is really important because, I think for anybody, it's really important to have an ally at home. Your parents are your advocates, or at least should be your advocates. And, not having an ally at home, I just can't imagine what that would be like.
The support is a given, but I'll come and I'll express something new, about, different things, about, people I'm seeing, multiple people I'm seeing, and your reaction is, the first reaction is often not great, and then the learning curve is probably 3 weeks, 3 weeks to get people's pronouns, 3 weeks to get,
It's really hard to get the pronouns.
She lets me just be free, which, she doesn't tie me down, she doesn't hold me down, she doesn't expect anything of me in general. There's no specific instances really I can think of.
My dad has been one that has really done the challenging work of trying to respect my gender queerness, and it's been really on the ball about using they, them pronouns, which I get is awkward and embarrassing when you don't really understand and you don't, you're constantly being corrected. My mother has a harder time with it, and so having at least one parent that's really adamant, not only adamant, but my dad gets all excited about it and writes it into my Christmas cards and things, and that's, I don't know, it means something. It's validating to have someone say, okay, I may not get it, but I hear you and I see you. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I look at it, is just accommodating Jess, and whether it's in a supportive role or in dialogue.
I can't think of any specific instances of support, but I mean, that is my job. That is what I signed on for, is to be your support, your advocate, your, safety net, your everything, and if I wasn't that, I wouldn't be doing my job.
Being public, not private, sharing being open when people ask you questions. And, just Zoe's an example to us so that we can be an example to other people.
A lot of people will listen to stereotypes, or they'll have preconceived ideas of, what a person should be like, and, if they identify as a certain thing, what they will be like. And so I think that, to kind of not have that mindset is good.
Having relatively open communication in general makes it easier because you don't have to tell everything all at once. You're just sort of sharing a picture as it gets more and more complicated. And then I think for both sides, it's less of what do I do with all this information? Because you've been getting to know each other sort of slowly and gradually, and as things happen.
Be flexible and recognize that rigidity doesn't serve a relationship well, any relationship, and especially not in this context.
And she's a different person. I can't expect her to live my life. She has to live her own life, and hopefully she will do that in a happy and healthy way if I support her.
A loving relationship not only can occur through that flexibility, it actually makes the relationship flourish.
It's really important to not judge.
This support has meant that I can do whatever I want and it will be fine.
I can just express myself the way I feel I need to and the way I feel comfortable.
This support has meant that I have the confidence to advocate for myself, both the freedom to be the kind of person I want to be, but also the confidence to voice my desires to others.
Home.
Totoro.
Freedom. She's given me freedom to find myself.
This is my community.